Welcome to Lavender and Lace Living. I'm Alicia, and I have something really sweet in store for you guys today. I'm feeling especially grateful for nature's bounty this year. One of my favorite things about summertime is when the blackberries are ripe and ready to pick. These that we have around our house are all wild blackberries. We didn't set any of these out, but we have been able to pick several of these over the last few years. And once we have several of these picked, I do just bring these in and wash them. And I like to spread them out on a clean kitchen towel and just let some of that excess water absorb into that towel. And if I don't have enough of these for a specific recipe, I will just put them in the freezer until I have enough of these to make the recipe that I'm going to share with you guys. Welcome to my kitchen, you guys. I would give you the full tour, but it is not exactly company worthy right now. So instead, we'll just get right to this recipe. This might be one that you have heard of before, or it may be completely something like out of the box that you've never heard of in your life. We're going to be making blackberry dumplings. I finally have enough to be able to do this recipe. And this is something that I learned how to make a long time ago that my granny and my mom both made. So it may be something that is just regional for us, or it may be something that you have tried before. So let me show you what ingredients that you're going to need for this recipe. So this is a very simple recipe. You don't need a lot of ingredients. Of course, you will need your blackberries. I have about 2 cups here. I don't usually have a lot of measurements for the blackberries themselves. I may add some more. We'll see how my syrup kind of looks here in just a minute. For the dumplings, you will need flour, and I am using a gluten-free 1-to-1 flour because 3 of us in our family are gluten-free. So I'm using that. You will need some sugar, some baking powder, and I like to use coconut milk in my dumplings. I think it just makes them a little bit more tender. So for your blackberry sauce, that's what you need first before you make your dumplings. You just want to add your blackberries to your pot, and you do want to add enough water to just cover them because you do want to get all the juice to cook out of those because that's what the dumplings will cook in. So I have probably about 1 3/4 cups of water, and then I like to add to this amount. I'll probably do 1/4 cup of sugar because these blackberries, some of them are not completely ripe. I do pick them a little bit prematurely because the birds will start eating them. So I'll pick them while they were a little bit red, and then I'll just turn this on about medium to medium high heat just till those start cooking down and I get a nice sauce to add my dumpling dough to. For your dumpling dough, you will need 1 1/4 cups of flour, and you can multiply this if you want to make a bigger batch, or you can decrease these amounts if you don't need quite as many dumplings. But again, you will need 1 1/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 cup of sugar, more or less depending on how sweet you want these to be, and you will need either 1 or 1 1/2 cups of coconut milk. You will want to add that as needed until your dough comes together. So this is just a very simple, quick and easy dough recipe, and this one is one that you can customize and add it into any kind of fruit syrup that you might make. You could do raspberry, blueberry, strawberry, it would work really good for any of those as well. So I like to add all of my dry ingredients first, just whisk all of those together, and then I will start adding in my coconut milk. On this day, I just started with a cup of that. Just mix that together just to see how well that dough was going to come together, just to see if it was dry or if it needed any more moisture. And I did have to add just a little bit more of that coconut milk. You want this to kind of be a very thick, sticky dough for your dumplings. You just kind of play around with it, and the more that you make these, you will get a better feel of what your dough needs to look like. And something else that you could add these dumplings to, you could make like a chocolate syrup or a chocolate gravy and add them to that, and that would be delicious as well. So now my blackberries have cooked down and I have quite a bit of juice sauce in there, and my dumpling dough is ready to go. So I like to take just a couple of teaspoons, scoop out just a little bit and drop that down into the liquid. And I try not to let these touch or pile them up on top of each other. It just doesn't let them cook the way that they need to. So I will just keep doing that until I have all of my dough in here. And then I just cover my pot, turn down the heat a little bit, let those cook on one side, and I will come back with a spoon and flip those over and let them continue to cook on the other side. So I had a little bit more of the dumpling dough than I needed for this. So this is all I can get in there without crowding my pot. And I do have just a little bit left. So what I'm going to do is just cover this and let these cook. And then I will turn those over and add the rest of my dough. That way they should hopefully not stick together and everything will still cook. And I can just turn this down on low once everything is done and have these warm and ready to go. And this we eat as kind of a dessert after either lunch or dinner. These dumplings are a little sweet and tart, and the perfect addition is just a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I hope you guys give this one a try. I had this idea for a design that I wanted to make in Cricut Design Space, and I just came up with the idea for this one day after we had been picking the blackberries. I just thought it'd be really cute to have this on a kitchen towel or even a t-shirt. Maybe I might do that later on. But I just really thought this was a cute phrase. When life gives you blackberries, make dumplings. I know that may be cheesy to you guys, but it's something that I just came up with, and I wrote it down a pretty long time ago, I guess, and I just hadn't had the time to get in Design Space and just create this image, but I finally had just an opportunity to do that. And if I can figure out how to share this design with you guys, I will do that. So just check the description box. I'm not sure that Cricut will allow me to do that because I did not use all Cricut images or fonts for this design. Some of these I used that I had downloaded from other sites, so I may or may not be able to share this with you guys. If not, it's just really easy to go in and create something yourself that you might want to add to a kitchen towel. This is just something that I wanted to share with you guys just to inspire you and get creative and just add a really cute touch to your kitchen decor. And I picked up these natural tea towels at Walmart. I just saw these one day in the crafting section, and I thought they would be perfect for this project. And you do get 2 in a pack. I can't remember how much these cost, but it wasn't very expensive. So since I do have 2 of these, I get to make one of these for my mom and just share that with her. So I just unfolded these tea towels, just tried to figure out which way I wanted to place them so I could get my design applied to these. And I just decided to fold these tea towels in thirds, and I did that long way so it would be able to hang over the handle on my oven. And I do just take my ruler and just measure out that area there where I want to be able to put my decal, just to make sure that I have everything where it needs to be before I cut this out. And I'm using the 405 brand of iron-on vinyl that you can find at Hobby Lobby. Sometimes I'll find this one on sale, so I like to pick that up. And this one you will need to press at 265 degrees for 5 seconds. This is the lower temp, less time iron-on vinyl, and I really like this vinyl. It works really good for me. And I did just preheat that tea towel just a little bit, and that also helped get some of those wrinkles out. Just placed down my vinyl where I wanted it, made sure I had that centered, and then I just pressed that for those 5 seconds. I did have to do just a couple of sections just to make sure I had everything pressed. And for some reason, this first one that I did, the bottom portion of that design didn't want to stick to that fabric too well. I don't know what I did any differently, but the second one, I did the exact same steps and it worked perfectly. And this is a warm peel vinyl, so you just want to make sure that that is still warm before you start pulling back that transfer sheet. And I did go over this first one just a couple of times just to make sure I had that vinyl pressed down. And I did have just a couple of areas that I could not get to press. It was just some of the centers of those letters, like the E and the K on that bottom part. So I just go back with a Sharpie and just add that, and you can't really even tell that I'm missing the vinyl on that part. And I did just flip my tea towel over and just press that on the back, just to make sure that everything was on there, and this is ready to go and hang in my kitchen on my oven door. And I just think this is so cute. I love the way that this one turned out. Well, my friends, that wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed this content and you are feeling inspired to either get in the kitchen or get creative with a craft. And I have to know, have you ever had or made blackberry dumplings before? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope you will consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next one.